is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A federal judge has issued a temporary order barring the removal of a 5-year-old Ecuadorian boy and his father, whose arrest last week in Minnesota became another lightning rod for the nation's divisions on immigration. The father and son are at a family detention facility near San Antonio, Texas. President Trump, before speaking at an event in Iowa, is asked about the shooting death of Alex Preddy by federal immigration officers in Minneapolis. He tells reporters that Preddy...
They shouldn't have been carrying a gun, but hey, look, bottom line, everybody in this room, we view that as a very unfortunate incident, okay? Everyone, unless you're a stupid person, very, very unfortunate.
The investigation has been handed over to a branch of ICE known as Homeland Security Investigation. CBS's Nicole Skanka.
Homeland Security Investigations was tasked to do this by the White House, we are told. And the decision to direct HSI to lead this investigative role, again, is very rare, and it has raised a lot of questions among both current and former law enforcement officials who note the agency is not typically tasked with investigating officer-involved shooting.
Meantime, authorities in Arizona say one person has been shot and is in critical condition in a shooting involving the Border Patrol near the U.S.-Mexico border. The FBI says it's investigating an alleged assault on a federal officer and that the subject is in custody. Some 450,000 customers are without power from Texas to Kentucky due to the snow and ice storm that plowed through a huge swath of the country. In Nashville, Tennessee,
lots of blankets. We have a ceramic pot and a candle underneath it to try to slightly stay warm. That's pretty much all we have. So we have a generator, but no heater.
At least 34 deaths are blamed on the storm. The National Transportation Safety Board has presented a cockpit visual simulation demonstrating what contributed to the deadly mid-air collision between an Army helicopter and an American Airlines jet near Washington, D.C. last year. 67 people died. The simulation indicates it was very difficult for both aircraft to see each other before the January crash. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
If we felt there was any sort of negligence, there would be probably some criminal component to that, and we'd have to refer that to the authorities. So we don't have any evidence of just plain out negligence.
TikTok settles a social media addiction lawsuit. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
Part of the challenge these companies face is that they're not just defending themselves in court. A lot of the information that could come out as part of the lawsuit could be damning about the way that they build their products and ultimately hurt their already low reputations among the public.
This is CBS News.
I'm Major Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you have questions after being injured in a car accident or injured because of someone's negligence? Do you feel overwhelmed or uncertain about the next steps after being injured in a crash? The personal injury attorneys at Peronick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes have been helping their injured clients since 1955 and are now on this radio station to provide guidance to you. Listen to FLA Law each Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Let their decades of experience help you and your family. Offices in Clearwater, non-attorney spokesman. Shenyun 2026 are coming to the Tampa Bay area February the 6th to the 8th at Mahaffey Theater, St. Petersburg. Shenyun revives 5,000 years of civilization through choreographed dance, music combining classical, Western, and Chinese instruments, and innovative 3D backdrop. Come and see it once in your lifetime. Tickets at shenyun.com/FL.
You may be owed some money. After 911 and 411, call 541. That's 727-541-1741. Call Gulfstream Motorsports for a diminished value report. Due to my 28 years experience in the auto salvage business, I'm very good with wrecks. So if your car's been involved in a wreck, call me for a diminished value report. Call 727-541-1741. You may be owed some money for the lost value of your repaired vehicle. And visit us at GulfstreamMotorsports.com.
Tune in to the Dr. Lou and Tammy Show every Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 106.1 and 102.3 FM. We shine a spotlight on local small businesses, giving them a platform and the recognition they deserve. We also dive into today's top medical news, keeping you informed and empowered. Don't miss out. Join us for engaging conversations and expert insights only on the Dr. Lou and Tammy Show.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, inviting you to join me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special guests, prizes, and your phone calls about the Bucs, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello there, Tampa Bay. This is former NFL and college football coach Jimmy Johnson. Listen to the Kelly Show every Monday starting at 5 p.m. They can sure use the attention.
And this is former Major League Baseball player, Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. I also hope you listen to the Kelly Show every Monday starting at 5 p.m. They can darn sure use the money.
Hi there. This is marine wildlife artist and conservationist Dr. Guy Harvey. Please listen to the Kelly Show every Monday starting at 5 p.m. They need to feel worthy.
From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
It's time for FLA Law, brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Perinick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes. This hour will be informative, along with taking your questions and comments. Now, here are your hosts for today's show.
Good evening. You are listening to FLA Law on the radio. My name is Matthew Noyce, and I'm one of the law partners at the law firm of Perinick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyce, one of the first personal injury law firms here in Tampa Bay. And we are here every Tuesday from 5 until 6, live on the radio to answer your questions or to address your comments regarding the law or other areas of our discussion. I am proud and happy to have a special guest on tonight. But before I introduce the guest, I do want to tell you there's 3 ways to get in touch with us. This is a live legal call-in talk show, so give us a call live on the air at 727-441-3000, and we can take your call live. Or you can jump on our Facebook page live, and that is Perinick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyce Injury Lawyers. Perinick is spelled P-E-R-E-N-I-C-H. And you can type in your questions or comments right on our Facebook Live page, and my guest and I will be able to address your comments. And there's yet a third way. The third way is our YouTube channel, and that again is Perinick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyce Injury Lawyers. And you can just jump on the YouTube channel, and Mike on the other side of the glass will let me know what your comments are, and so you can go that way as well. So I have 3 ways. Telephone, Facebook Live, or YouTube. So we welcome all calls and any comments that you may have. You don't have to agree with us. We're happy to have a discussion regarding what you want to talk about. But today I have a special guest. He has revolutionized how the community stays informed about local incidences and breaking news. I'd like to welcome Stephen Hirschfield. He is the creator of the popular Facebook page and website. I call it IONTB, but it's IONTB. It's IONTB. Bay. Stephen has grown. He has worked hard, and he has grown into be a vital resource for Tampa Bay residents on newsworthy stories on everything from traffic accidents to severe weather alerts and traffic. I saw. I think it was last night I saw that the Skyway was closed because of the high winds, and that was thanks to Stephen as well. And so today we're going to be diving into the story behind IONTB, explore how Stephen manages to stay on top of all that breaking news, and discuss the challenges that he has with dealing with a successful social media presence. So I encourage you to give us a call, jump on Facebook or whatever you wish to do, but we're about to get inside scoop of the Tampa Bay's most trusted news source, and that is IONTB. Stephen, welcome to FLA Law on the radio.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much. Great.
I'm glad you're here. I'm
glad I'm here. I don't know what to say. Thanks for that introduction. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to let you first introduce yourself to our listeners. Tell them a little bit about yourself before we jump into IONTB.
Yeah, we could talk about the website. Going on about 13 years, and we could talk more about it as we go along. First, I just want to thank you personally for having me as a guest on FLA Law. I appreciate it. You've been a partner with us for quite some time, and it is special. You guys been around 71 years?
Yeah, 71 years.
So obviously you guys are doing something right, and I like associating my people with people that do it right.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. We're happy to do it.
Before you start throwing all these hardball questions to me,
that's right.
We did have some negotiations back and forth, and I am starting my podcast series, and so just remember when you throw these hardball questions at me, it's all about payback. So
okay.
keep that in mind.
I think you're going to just fly through my questions that you have.
Think I'll be all right?
I know you will be all right.
So I mean, we started back in around 2013.
What originally inspired you to do Tampa Bay? I mean, ION Tampa Bay.
I mean, I've always been a news person. I've always been a lot of video, a lot of photo kind of work, photography, do a lot of drone work. I just got my new Canon DSLR, right? And the Nikon people going to start complaining. So there was a candle manufacturing facility on Main Street in Dunedin. And it was a 2 or 3 alarm structure fire. And I just got my new camera in my hand. I'm like, I gotta take some pictures. So I got some, great pictures, not for the candle manufacturer, but of our firefighters, our first responders, which is why this site originally kind of started. Up there on the roof and cutting holes and on the ladders, and I did some video along with it and put it up on YouTube and put a bunch of photos on the web. I didn't have a website at this time. Put a bunch of photos. I just posted on my own Facebook page and started getting phone calls from local media entities saying, "Great, that's great footage. Could we use it?"
Oh.
So I'm like, yeah, just go ahead and put my name on it. At that time, just Stephen Hirschfield, put my name on it, and started getting a lot of comments from the first responders as well. They like to see what they're doing.
Right.
Their family members love it, right? Their parents, their brothers, sisters, their friends, doing what they do best.
Yeah, spotlighting on the good work that they do.
And the public needs to know, really, right, the work that they do, and they don't just sit in the firehouse and watch TV all day long and wait to go out to a call. There's a lot of training involved. There's a lot that goes into it, and I do a lot within the fire departments here in the county as well. So I know how hard they work, and so part of the reason was to set this up to show the appreciation for what our first responders do, whether it be firefighters or law enforcement.
Yeah. That's wonderful, and then from that fire in Dunedin really has, pardon the pun, but sparked the whole beginning of ION Tampa Bay.
Yeah, at that point it wasn't IONTB or ION Tampa Bay or anything else. It was like, went home and I'm like, wait, I could do this, right? Why do I need to give this to media entities when I could do this? And so came up with a logo, came up with IONTB. And IONTB was born at that time, and I've been a pharmacist for 25 years. That's really what my training was. University of Florida graduate in zoology, and I was a pharmacist for 25 years. So I was kind of balancing this, and it's hard with breaking news.
You were doing both?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So kind of doing the same thing, and it's a 24/7 kind of 365. Thing.
I know. We were just before the show. You were looking and checking what the breaking news was and such like that.
Yeah, and I mean, right 5 minutes before the show starts, there's a couple breaking news. Both tragic stories.
Yeah.
They're on the Facebook page right now, and IONTB was never to like replace my career. It was just a hobby, right? Hobbies are fun and jobs suck, as I like to say, right? And I like my boss, right? It's good when you like your boss.
That's good, yeah.
And so my goal was hobbies can be expensive, right? Camera equipment.
Right,
and the web hosting, and you start this up, and then next thing you know, people don't like what you're saying, and then you got to have E&O, there's omission insurance.
Right.
And so things start piling up. So it was a matter of, hey, could we just pay what it costs to run? What's our operating expenses?
Right.
And it hasn't been a whole lot, but in technology improvements, public records request, those kind of things, and play with my drones a lot, do a lot of drone stuff. And,
is that how you get a lot of the footage? Is by drone?
Nah, not a whole lot. You
Okay.
obviously won't interfere with certain things. But I do Drones is fun. I do a lot of stuff outside Tampa Bay for some companies, and I'm doing for a local city. I'm doing some drone footage for their website development. So I've been out.
Oh, because you have nothing else to do
in my spare time. So it's good to partner with like Parent Caulfield, Averill, Illinois, for you guys to have this partnership and help support just to keep us operational.
Well, we think it's so important because you are vital to give just the news. I mean, you don't opinionate the news on ION Tampa Bay. You just set out what it is, and whether it's a e-bike accident, which I saw recently, and or a car accident, you just let them know that's what happened, and so you're letting the viewers know.
Right, you let them know, and obviously, it's breaking news, so things are subject to change. If you don't visualize it, believe none of what you hear and half what you see, right?
That's
Because
right.
what you see may not be right either.
That's true.
So then you get the arguments: is it an e-bike? Is it a scooter? Is it
Right.
So juggling the comments are tough.
I was going to say you have to juggle all those comments because you can have hundreds of comments on one post,
thousands.
Yeah,
and the way society is, it's just people. There's individuals that like to come on just to
attack,
just to be divisive.
Yeah,
and whatever their agenda is, I don't know. But when you get an attack from both sides, you're doing something right.
That's right.
Yeah. So we try to be fair, but that's the most taxing part, is everyone throws criticism around, but it's the positive comments that keep me going. And for how long now? Still, I don't know.
You're still
I'm
dancing.
Still every year. I'm like, okay, one more year. We'll see what happens.
Well, your following is just amazingly great. How many followers do you have on Facebook?
On Facebook alone, we should hit 200,000 probably in the next week or two.
Wow.
So. I remember the days where I started up the site and I go over to my parents' house and I'm like, Mom, like my Facebook page. So it's like, I want to get double digits, right? I hit 10, I hit 11. And it started like more for like first responders, because I have family members or first responders and retired and current. And a lot of friends I was born and raised here. So, a lot of connections from back, Indian Rocks Fire Department, out Pinellas Suncoast back in the late 80s. And, they did away with all the volunteer departments. It's all professional firefighters now. But, long history going back. So, and then the people started joining, the general public started joining. And the value in that is, they contribute. This is consumer-driven news, right? I'm not going to go push something down somebody's throat that they're not interested in. So people start sending me photos or asking me questions constantly. I mean, I'm probably getting hundreds and hundreds of messages a day, and that's really one way that I know what's going on. And if a lot of people are interested in it, then let's go with it.
Right. And so you have about 200,000 on Facebook. You have almost 13,000 on Instagram, I think.
You cheated, but you looked at information on my website.
No, I looked at right here on your right on there.
That's not accurate either.
Oh, that's not accurate either.
No,
but
I can't report the news and update my website.
Well, you're kicking it, that's for sure. You're doing really good, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah. So.
And often you're on the scene even before traditional outlets. Can you kind of walk us through what a typical breaking news day looks like for you?
There is no typical day, right? It's breaking news. It could be a day with nothing going on, or a day where you just something's going on and you can't plan it, right? You can't put it on your schedule. There was a call this afternoon. It was right by my house. I go out there, and there's a 3-vehicle accident. Law enforcement starts arriving on the scene. And the guy gets out of the car and starts running. Next thing you know, there's helicopters overhead. There's canines all over the place.
Wow.
And, So
how do you get that call initially? I mean, there's probably different ways.
There's Pinellas County has a computer dispatch for the fire calls, of course, HIPAA and everything else. You don't know addresses and medicals and stuff like that, but that's not what we're reporting.
Right.
But things like crashes, those are kind of reported out there. At the same time, I'm getting photos, I'm getting requests, say, why is there so many police, and why is there a canine running, why is there a helicopter over my house? So it's all of those things going on at once. And
so people reach out because I've seen it on like Next Door or something and say, I heard that loud bang. Does anybody know what that is? And then
and then somebody goes to IONTB and they copy what I said it is, and then they post it as if they're their own Next Door. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So yeah, I get those constantly. And then you get some phone calls. My phone number's kind of on there, and you get some unhappy people sometimes. Yeah. Everyone loves my site till you're on it, right?
No, that's true. Yes, I mean, like the woman who the one I see here. I have to cheat after putting my glasses on.
Everyone says, "Do you remember that story?" I'm like, "No,
the group home
don't.
Daycare employee arrested for child abuse charge." She's on your top. I bet she doesn't like your site right now.
No, she's not going to like my. And neither did the facility. So
and DUI manslaughter arrest after fatal Madeira Beach crash. That is interesting news to know. I think people need to know what has happened.
So that one I actually was told, like, even before the fire department got dispatched, someone I know who's drives people around, like a chauffeur kind of place. Yeah. He had actually texted me on it, gave me some details, but didn't really know all the details that it was a DUI related crash at that point. But knew that they had transported them, and that's one I didn't head out to. So.
But your website alone, I mean, we can talk about the Facebook page, and we will, but your website alone is just full of so much good information. Crime down in St. Pete, FBI data shows, deadly shooting claims life of 16-year-old female.
But it's good information, but it's not always good stories.
It's not good stories.
And then Crime Down comes out, and next there's 2 people shot in St. Pete the next day, right? And then you have the people saying, well, they're just lying about the data. And, you get this bantering back and forth. And unfortunately, social media, they like that, right? Because it keeps you on their site. Yeah. That's what Facebook and YouTube, they don't want you to go anywhere else. They want you to stay on their site. So they don't like links back to a website. They don't like, and the more arguing going on, the more people stay on.
Right.
And when you look at traditional media, it was always, and it still is, if it bleeds, it leads, right? And I think that went a little too far, a decade ago or 2 decades ago. And now it's kind of going the other way, that the media, they've told me that they're not covering a lot of certain stories because it's negative. And the only thing I can think of is the same battle I'm having, is when you report a lot of negative news, advertisers don't like that either, right? So I report a lot of motorcycle crashes, right? So you think that, your local motorcycle dealership's going to want to advertise on your site. You think the local liquor store is now going to want to advertise on my site because we have a DUI crash. So you run into these issues, and then, like this morning, I get a thing from Google Ads saying, we cut out your monetization on this article because it's shocking content. Well, it was a law enforcement involved crash, and it's shocking content.
But it's news.
Right.
You're not making it up. It's all factual.
Right.
And so that's what drives me crazy.
And I had that issue really with Facebook like a year and a half ago. They were pulled out every post I put up. Wow. It violated community standards. And then then they started saying, "Hey, we'll pay you to post. Just keep going." It's interesting how it all takes place, and you can't plan a business. You can't.
Right.
I don't know what my income's going to be next month. I don't know what Facebook or YouTube or anyone else is going to change.
Right.
No idea.
Yeah. So you are basically running a major local news source as a one-man show. How do you do it? How do you do it all by yourself?
Again, it's not by myself. It's thanks to the followers, right? The 200,000 plus on Facebook. It's a community effort. I couldn't just do it myself, and it's valuable in that some people are like, well, the comments are horrible. Why don't you just turn them off? Well, there may be 70 horrible comments, and I could block them and I could hide them, and some people get banned because things are just completely inappropriate. But there's the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 that actually add value to really what happened and what transpired. Right. And
I can give you an example of that because we had an auto accident case that I represent somebody who got hurt on. We got the accident report, and it didn't have list of witnesses.
Yeah.
But I jump on your site on ION Tampa Bay, and there's an article or a post about it, and there's comments of saying, yes, I drove by it, I was there, I saw it.
Right.
We got that person's information. Their information was so crucial to that case. So the comments, we may not always agree with the comments, but people have a right to voice their comments, and sometimes it can be helpful.
Absolutely. So yeah, and it's not unusual that I get contacted by a victim, right? I get contacted by a family member that was involved in a crash or some kind of crime scene. Imagine someone's child dies in a vehicle crash. And it's up in the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office area, and the person lives in St. Pete, and they get a knock at the door at 2 a.m. We need you to either go to the hospital or sorry, your son has passed. And what happened? Well, I don't know because the sheriff's office is working it. You know what I'm saying? So people want to know. People want to. So it's not unusual that I get calls. They want to know. Some want to know the details that I don't think they really want to know.
Right.
Or see pictures that they probably shouldn't see.
Right.
But they have a right to do that.
Right.
And
you and I were talking. There's many times there's information that you out of your respect for the people involved, you don't share on Facebook or on your website.
No,
which is
right. So we talked about it bleeds and leads, but you've got to do responsible, accurate, timely reporting, and give the details of, is it safe? Is it safe to go outside? Why is there helicopters outside? Or why is there or there was a crime scene. The public's not in any danger. Everyone's in. That's all people want to know. Really, is the details you could talk about and gossip about later. But there's certain information I think needs to get out in a timely manner, and I don't always have that. Certain agencies are better than others at putting it out. Certain agencies are more receptive to inquiries as to what's going on, but I do the best I can with what I got.
Yeah, and so if you're just tuning in to FLA Law on the radio, this is Matthew Noyes, and I have my special guest, Stephen Hirschfield, here. He is the man behind IONTB.com and also on Facebook. We welcome you to give us a call. If you are one of the followers of Ion Tampa Bay, let us know. Let us know what you think about it. You can call us at 727-441-3000 or jump on our Facebook Live page at Paranet Caulfield Averell Noyce Injury Lawyers, or on our YouTube channel as well on Paranet Caulfield Averell Noyce Injury Lawyers. We're happy to take your call or address your question or comment. So this is the time to jump on to let us know what you think. And as Stephen said, sometimes there's posts that have thousands of comments on any one post. And so we welcome those comments here on the show, and want to hear your experience with Ion Tampa Bay as well. So give us a call or send us a little Facebook message, and we'll be happy to address that. And so, Stephen, what we were talking about, you do have a Facebook page and you do have a website. How are they similar, but yet how are they different?
So obviously when we talk about the websites, we're talking about website would be like more of an in-depth article. Maybe it's a follow-up. So it may just be a crash that's blocking Olmerton Road and letting people know they should divert. I have automated things running, like you saw on the Skyway. It wasn't closed. It was closed to high-profile vehicles because of the wind.
Right.
So I have things going out that are automated that'll actually go out. Like right now, it could be posting if those kind of things come out. So I do a lot of programming.
You're talking above my head already. I can't even figure out that.
Above my head, too, but somehow I got it working.
That's pretty good.
So there's a lot of things that get posted on Instagram, a lot of things on Facebook that are just general info, not really a big deal. And kind of that breaking news aspect. I just got done. There was a posting of a unfortunate shit of a young child deceased in St. Pete right before we got in the studio. Wow. Obviously, all the details aren't known. This happened an hour ago. There'll be something from St. Pete PD later on that we could put out, and then that would be on Facebook, but then linked to a larger article as to more details as to what's going on. Okay. So we don't write articles and everything.
Because I've seen a lot more on Facebook than I do on the website, but that makes sense. The posts on Facebook are the immediate
nonstop.
Yeah, right. The nonstop, and the website really is more in depth.
It's more in depth, and usually I joke around like by the time the media shows up, I usually leave the scene. Right, I'm done. All right, I got my pictures, and then if there's an arrest or if you're anticipating something being put out by the police department, you get that. If not, you get arrest affidavits the following day, and you could kind of build the story from there.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good. Thank you for listening and to FLA Law on the Radio. Who am I talking to?
Hi, it's Osiris.
Hi, Osiris. Well, do you have a question for Stephen?
Yes, I have two, actually.
Okay.
The first question is there a story that has stayed with you?
Oh, there's many. People always ask me.
She stole one of my questions near the end, so that's pretty good.
Was there a story?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Oh, I snuck that one in on you.
One of the toughest ones was off of East Bay when two people in a vehicle drove into a lake near Highland Avenue. And I was out there filming, and they pulled the woman ashore, and they were doing CPR on her for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend or husband showed up to the scene. And they had just taken her to a local hospital, but it was pretty clear she's in pretty grave condition.
Right.
And I actually went to the hospital and sat with them. I put my camera down,
wow.
and I sat with them. And there was a picture that I put up that was probably 20 first responders around the woman. Of course, you couldn't see her, right? There's 20 people around her, holding an IV bag, law enforcement's holding it, and of course, everyone criticized her. Everyone's like, how can you dare show that picture? And the family finally said, I'm glad you posted that, because we know that everything that could have been done was done to try to save her life.
And that photo showed that. Yeah.
And that photo showed it.
Yeah.
So, that one kind of stuck with me, and I sat with it was a husband or boyfriend outside the hospital for quite some time until the rest of the family showed up. So
I could see how that would be touching, and helpful.
Yeah.
Osiris, what's your second question?
How do you handle stories involving people that you might know?
Ooh, good question. Have you had to deal with that?
Yes.
Since you've been around here.
Yes.
I mean, you've been in
I'm
Pinellas
born and
County.
raised here, so I know a lot of people.
That's a very good question.
Yes, I have. And you do what you got to do, right? You don't have to push it to the limit. It's always tough when a paramedic or a firefighter within the system gets arrested for something. And whether it be a DUI, it's like I ask myself, do I report that this firefighter for this agency got a DUI? Would I report it if it wasn't a firefighter or paramedic? Is it different? And I battle with these all the time. Do you do it? Do you not? And I'm affiliated with some local fire departments, and then there was another case of someone I've known for forever, and got arrested. And how could I be the only news agency to not put it out? Right?
That would be such a moral struggle.
And I put it out, but I've since taken it down, right? Because I'm a breaking news website, and I get calls all the time. I got one the other day. It was like, I was arrested in 2017. I got cleared. Can you take it down? I don't think the regular media takes it down, because the story is the story. You could update it, but it's still news. I take it down, right?
Okay.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, don't threaten me with legal action. Be nice about it. I'm not out to destroy anybody, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're cleared. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. But even if you're not, you're like, well, I'm trying to get a job, and when you Google my name, your article comes up. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand, and I do that all the time.
Oh, that's wonderful. Osiris, any other questions for Stephen?
No, sir. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for listening, and thank you for following on ION Tampa Bay as well.
Thank you.
Sure. Bye. That does free up a line. So if you have a question for Stephen or myself, give us a call at 727-441-3000. And Osiris touched on it, and we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but social media can be a double-edged sword. They want to know the news, but how do you navigate between the challenges of misinformation, heated discussion in comments, or pressure for constant updates? How do you deal with that?
You do the best you can, right?
Again, you're a one-man show. You can't do everything.
Try one-man show. Obviously you got to stay professional. You, as much as you want to tell the person, what you think of them.
Yeah.
You stay professional, and I always have. And people call, and I'll be like, we could have a reasonable conversation. But sometimes I get the random call, and I'm like, I'm just not going to answer it right now because I don't know. I understand people are going through a lot. And how do you talk to a person who just had a loss or just something just happened and you're putting what you got from the law enforcement agency. That's all I could do right now.
Right.
I'll work with you, do the best I can, but that's the information provided. If something's not right, then you need to contact that agency or navigate through the court system.
And even more important to know that. I mean, if they found out that it's incorrect information from you, that's benefit to them in a weird way, because then they can contact the agency and say,
correct.
Why is this? Please correct that information or further investigate.
Or they didn't know that happened, and maybe it is accurate info, but they were never informed of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were a distant relative. It's tough, but the comments. I get stuff all the time. How can you let these comments go on and this and that? But it's usually the person that starts throwing insults, and then they cry when they get attacked back.
Right.
And I don't want to just close everything down. People have the right to have their stupid opinions, and especially when their face is on there and the business they own is on there. Right. It's one thing if it's someone who just joined Facebook, 3 days ago, and you don't know who they are, they're anonymous. I'm a little more strict with that. But if you write your opinion. I mean, don't threaten people. Like I'll get, this person got mad at me and I blocked him and now he's threatening me personally. Yeah, that person's gone off my site, right? That's crossed the line.
Yeah, sure.
But if you want to have a heated discussion, have a heated discussion. If you want to show your stupidity, go for it. So there's a venue for that.
Yeah.
But so it's hard.
Do you have regular people that comment on many different posts that you have, even if they're not tied to that post?
Oh, there's the same person. Every time there's a motorcycle crash, they put in some comment. And so I have some moderation words that they put those words in. I'm telling a secret now. I just have it hidden. So this person puts on every post, but no one sees it.
Okay.
So there's certain words that I keep adding. Long list now.
Yeah.
That just have no relevancy. So, there's no relevancy to the post. Or, there'll be a motorcycle crash and, I saw this guy driving 80 miles an hour and driving like an 80. What's that got to do with this post, right? You're just saying because you saw someone do 80, this guy was doing 80.
Right.
So it's not fair.
Right.
So,
Now, you were in healthcare for decades before you did this.
Decades? You're making me sound old.
Well, no. Well, it was 20, how many years? 25 years, was it?
25 plus, yes.
25.
We'll
See,
leave it as 25.
See, that's decades.
That's a quarter century, man.
Yeah, you're still young.
Now I'm feeling old.
You're still young. How did you pick up on how to do that, all the secret little things about Facebook and...
Well, they change it every day.
That's true,
right?
They do. Yes.
I mean, they really do, and they changed the app this week. It's incredible,
I try to keep up with it, trying to run the law practice, and
you're old.
I am old. I am old. I still use an abacus.
Your abacus and your slide. You got your slide rule?
That's right.
All right. All my followers go, what's a slide rule?
That's exactly right. My son's an abacus. What is that? And I guess this kind of also brought into it, and I think Osiris's question was pretty good. Some of the local incidences, that you report on are intense and traumatic. And I like what you said about, the photos of the first responders is a testament to the hard work that they do. And I think people need to see that because I don't think they're spotlighted enough on the hard work that they do, whether it's law enforcement or first responders and such. But how do you personally balance between the public's need to know with compassion for the people that are involved in the event?
Yeah, so a lot of posts are maybe appropriate later at a different time because the people say, they're posting pictures of the crash, but it's got a license plate, it's got very distinctive, say, lines on the car, very distinctive car, colors. Those are problematic, right? When you have a serious bodily injury crash or involving fatality, I don't want that stuff out there, right? The family doesn't need to find out from me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to find out anyways it's going to be all over social media anyways. So there's a lot of times I'll hide those early on. I have a thing on my site where people could actually send videos and photos and say they took it and can I share it and do you want your name on it for credits? Obviously, some people do, some people don't. So it's balancing out. Even when I take pictures, I try not to get a person in the photo.
Well, I like that. I didn't even think about that. You may have information that the family doesn't have just yet, and so if you post a picture of an identifiable car, they say, "That's cousin Joey's car."
Right.
Now what's going on? How come I'm just finding about that here?
Right, but they usually find out anyways. And then I had people all the time saying, "No, my brother was just in a vehicle crash. Do you know what hospital he went to?" Well, yeah, he went to this hospital. Well, I try to help out as much as I can.
And that's something I don't think your followers know, or I didn't even know about that, is that you don't just do the post and then you're done. If people need help with some information about the post, if you know the information, you help them.
Yeah, I help them, and it's like I said, I get contacted by family and friends many times, and they don't understand the legal side of it. Right, we're on a legal show now,
right.
and it's very the roadmap, both in a civil, say a malpractice, a personal injury versus criminality. And they want instant justice, right? They lost a family member, or their family member has permanent injuries.
Right.
It's a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just happen overnight. And, I forget the individual case, but it wasn't too long ago. Everyone's like, well, this person did it. Why haven't they arrested him yet? I want him arrested. I'm like, you don't want him arrested because that starts the defense.
Speedy, I don't do criminal law, but I know this is a whole speedy trial and all that. You don't want to get him arrested.
And you don't want the defense, the attorneys starting to interfere. And so I try to walk them through the process. It may be a year and a half. It's going to be ups and downs. And so I regularly continue to speak with people and try to educate them on what I've seen and some of the process.
Yeah.
So, it's not only the personal injury, but it's also the criminal side of it. They want instant justice, and sometimes you get justice, sometimes you don't, but none of it's fast.
Right. No. Wheels of justice move very slowly. If they move too fast, then there could be a problem.
Yes.
So, but you also assist law enforcement and first responders if they need information from you. You're quick to give it to them as well, right?
Oh yeah, I work with a lot of the scanner traffic. I have recording, so it's like you ever need, of a larger incident commit. So it's training for them, right? They could listen back and see what can they've done better. When they do an extrication on a car and you see them all standing around and they're talking about, did we do this the best way? Could we have improved upon it? So there's a debrief after a fire, after any large incident, to talk about where did they position the truck, where did they position the engine, how did Sunstar come in? So there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of training and constant evolving and how they can do things better. So
that's perfect. You're listening to Stephen Hirschfield. He is the man behind ION Tampa Bay. And he is a leader in providing instant and vital information about breaking news throughout Tampa Bay. My name is Matthew Noyce. I'm one of the attorneys at Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyce, the first personal injury law firm in Tampa Bay. And we are on FLA Law live on the radio. And please feel free to give us a call at 727-441-3000 with any questions that you may have. Jump on Facebook at Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyce Injury Lawyers, or jump on our YouTube channel too and send us a comment. We'll be happy to address that with you. In fact, we do have a comment or a question on Facebook. Jacqueline asks, how do you get stories these days, or how do you vet stories these days with AI and other artificial stories? Do you get a lot of AI?
Well, social media in general is full of just erroneous, wrong, slanted, sometimes on purpose, information. So everything's everything's vetted. I don't believe you should see the stuff that I get.
And you go there too. But there's sometimes you go there. So
I'll validate it, whether it's the fire rescue or police, or I'll reach out to our public service entities, to law enforcement departments, agencies, fire departments. I have a lot of contacts, obviously, through all of these departments. So
that's how you vet the stories.
Yeah, I don't. And I get requests is like, oh, can you investigate, or this person ran away, or this person's missing. I got to be careful about that, right? I'm not going to say, okay, some 16-year-old ran away. Who's looking for him and why? I'm not like, you give me a police report, I'll put it out, but I'm not going to. It's a dangerous road out there. And so sometimes people send me stuff and I can't help. It's just the way it is. So I know you asked me a little bit earlier, but who I am, right? So we know I worked as a pharmacist for 25 years, and so I'm pretty active here in the county. Born and raised here in Pinellas County.
Where'd you go to school?
Went to school at Seminole High.
Okay.
class of
Yeah.
And you know, I went to school with our new Supreme Court Justice, Adam
okay. Yeah.
Tannenbaum. So went to high school with him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
You're dating
he's
yourself,
old,
but that's
I'm
okay.
old. Well, that's okay.
That's all right.
That's okay. So went to school, University of Florida. And I just lost half my viewers now.
Yeah.
Went to school, University of Florida, and was active up there with the Gainesville Fire Rescue Association. I do a lot with amateur radio, ham radio operations, still ongoing now today. I taught CPR classes and stuff through Santa Fe Community College, their paramedic EMT program. Currently still involved with Pinellas County Emergency Management. They have a ham radio system set up there as well, so I do auxiliary communication. I had previously volunteered for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for a number of years in the past, and when I had more free time. And then I'm heavily involved with the city of Seminole with their community emergency response team.
Wow, okay.
So I've been up to the Emergency Management Institute and had some training up there to be an instructor for that program. I'm on pager. Yes, we still have pagers,
Wow.
right? We still remember
Wow,
these
what
things.
does that look like?
Now I'm dating myself.
That's right.
Fire department, they still use pager systems.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I'm on their firefighter rehab team. So any large incidents get paged out to that for the rehab when they come out. The firefighters come out for hydration and making sure they're ready to go in and chill out their macho-ness, right? They want to go back in and fight the fire, but we got to make sure they're healthy and hydrated and good to go. So I teach CPR first aid, stop the bleed training for the City of Seminole for community members once a month at the City of Seminole Fire Rescue. And sleep many hours in the Emergency Operations Center during storms, a couple days at a time. So I help run their Emergency Operations Center and just got my fire and life safety educator through the State Fire Marshal's office. So that's why, and a security officer. So I do a few things on my side.
And a husband and a father.
And a husband and a father, yes.
Wow.
And yeah.
Oh, you told me right before the show that you have top 10 reasons why you do what you do. You don't have to give me the whole 10, but I like the number one reason.
The wife always knows where I'm at. She just has to check on Facebook. So she'd be talking to me.
She can page you too.
No, she can't page me.
Sorry.
But yeah, we'll watch a TV. I'm like, I gotta go. Or she'd be like, where'd you go? Because it's like I hear a call. It's near the house or whatever, and yeah, I'm gone. So she's used to it by now.
Do you have the radio on 24/7? Well, probably not 24/7.
Yeah, 24/7. I have one other individual that kind of helps me, that kind of monitors if stuff's going on, that if I can. That's how I was able to work as well, because people would message, or he would help out and would do posts for me. So everything on the website's mine. Facebook is me or one other individual that helps post when I'm not always available. So.
And although people send you, the general public could send you some stuff, it doesn't get posted until you review it.
Correct.
And you vet it and you make sure it's all correct.
Yes. And I would go back. Yeah, I don't just post. We put out accurate, timely information. And if you're going to start putting out fake news and fake stories, I wouldn't be where I am. And I can't say in my time doing this that I ever did. There's things that get put out, but it was information. Could be from a police department. Things change based on preliminary information. That's why in the articles, according to so and so, this is what I'm not. I don't make the news.
You're not. You're not the reporter.
I'm not.
I guess you're not the investigator. You're
right. I'd love to do investigative journalism. I just don't have time to do it.
You sound like you would be a perfect investigator.
I would love to do it. I would get myself in trouble. I get myself in trouble now. People don't like what I do. So investigative would be tough.
You say people don't like what you do, but I would think the majority like what you do, and there's a minority that don't like what you do. Is that a fair statement?
You would think if they don't like me, they just wouldn't follow me, right?
You got 200,000 people following.
There's certain agencies that like me more than others, and I don't want to get into that now.
Yeah.
It's not the appropriate time and place. So some like to control what they put out. And it's more like when you talk about the mainstream news, I feel it's you pat my back, I pat your back, you put out what I do, what I tell you to do, and it's kind of that relationship. Well, I don't play that game.
Right.
I don't play that game like they want you to do, some of them.
Right.
So that's caused some friction in the past.
Well,
I try to play, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Well, as you recently told, as you told us earlier, that sometimes you have to report on people you don't even want to report on because you know them.
Right.
But you do what you do because people are counting on you. They respect you. They value what you're putting out. And so I think it's admirable what you do, and I think that gives you a lot of credibility, and that's why you have such a great following. And it's been going on for 13 years strong.
13.
How about how many posts do you put on a day? It's probably
on
changes.
my Facebook?
Yeah, on your Facebook.
Maybe 30? Yeah. I mean, there may be some that are 7.
Yeah.
And there may be some that are... The big stories are the ones that have follow-ups, where you have like the breaking news, and then, a lot of them have been the boating. Unfortunately, these boating accidents and people going out unprepared, and how many? There's been like 4 of them now. Just very unfortunate. Yeah. And I try with this site to not just post the news, but to educate.
Right.
And that's the whole point of me trying to start this podcast. We have some people lined up with boating safety. And I did a quick video. I'm like, dude, you can't just go offshore with a phone, right? You're a few miles out, you lose signal. You got to have a radio. There's EPIRBs, there's life rafts, there's all of these things out. So one of my first podcasts is going to be an individual that does boating safety. And just starting this educational process, right? Obviously, posting about these horrific crashes isn't changing the way people drive, right? It's worse and worse every day. I thought I was naive when I started. I'm like, yeah, okay, people see what's out there and forget about it, right? You're fighting a losing battle.
Well, I know that's kind of why we do this show as well. We talk about our cases, and we talk about how accidents occur and how you can try to avoid accidents. And it's really not to tout that we have these cases, but try to educate people of what they need to do, to avoid an accident, but more importantly, what to do if you're involved in an accident. And at your show, your Facebook page and your website does kind of the same thing. I see e-bike accidents or motorcycle accidents. It should, if I was an e-bike driver or a motorcycle driver, saying, "Oh gosh, I better be careful." I don't think everybody does that, but if you save 1 or 2 people, then you've done what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I ride an e-bike. I'm like, I'm staying away from. It's crazy, but it's nuts. So but I don't report. There's 100. I think in the Tampa Bay area, there's 120 crashes a day or something. It's some crazy number. And but I don't report on all of them. There's a motorcyclist got hit right on Starkey Road by my house. I can't report on them all, right? It's like I definitely don't miss any big stories, right?
Well,
but you can't just do every one.
Yeah, we have another Facebook comment.
Is it good or bad?
Well, I think it's good.
Oh, I'll take it.
She says, "Love you and all you do," and I think she's talking to you. I think she's talking to you. Because the next thing she says is "Go Gators!"
Gators!
So, Candy, thank you for watching us on Facebook, and thank you for your comments.
All right, I was getting worried. Are we going to get through this with just positive stuff?
I'm a USF guy, so
that's all right.
Yeah, so I knew it wasn't a Gator for me. So,
all right.
So, tell us a little bit more about your podcast. I know it's something fresh that you're just starting up. Do you have a title for it yet, a name for it?
No.
Okay. I told you it was fresh.
Working on the software side of it right now. I did one podcast a couple years ago.
Okay.
And they say that most people start a podcast, do like a few, and then it fizzles out. And I made a list of everybody I want to have on, all the topics I want to have on. And I did one. It was just an audio only, and it was Slow Down, Move Over. And I did one for that because they had an event going on with the tow truck drivers over the Skyway. But now I want to work on one, video, audio, and I still have my list.
Yeah,
still on my list, and I still have my first person, but was dealing with some family issues over the past month.
Yeah,
life gets in the way.
Good. Yeah, but I think that's going to be very, very helpful for everybody.
Yeah,
so let us know so we can promote your podcast as well.
And if you guys are out there and anyone wants to be on my show, if it's of interest to somebody, it may not be of interest to me, but I'm game. Let's go for it.
That's right. And that leads me perfectly into letting our listeners know that if you are listening to FLA Law on the radio, or if you listen to past episodes and you say, gosh, I just want to follow up on that episode, or I missed a part of it because I had to eat dinner or something, We do put all our episodes on our podcast as well. It's FLA Law on the radio. And we are on Spotify and Apple's podcast and all the other podcast platforms that, because I'm old, I don't know the names of, but I'm sure that they are on there. So jump on your favorite podcast platform, and you can find us under FLA Law on the radio. So we do have a little bit more time. I do want to ask you that, if someone's listening right now that follows ION Tampa Bay but really doesn't know you, what do you want them to understand? If you had two things you wanted them to understand about who you are and why you do what you do, what are those two things? So I didn't ask you that question before, so.
I don't know about that question. Now you're throwing these hardball questions out of me. Remember about payback. So, I talked a little about what I do. I do it, one, because I enjoy news and news gathering. I'm not a fan of fake news, and I don't want to call my dad out, but he's like, I saw this on internet today, and it says this. It's like, no, it's not real.
Yes.
But
my mother-in-law thought Steve Harvey died like 4 different times because the internet told him that told her that she died. That he died.
So it's just again, I do it really to highlight what our first responders do. I do it to really for the community. Again, it's community-based news. You want to know, I'll look into it, but also keep in mind I'm a one-man show, like you said, right? And I can't do everything. Even though I'm not working in the pharmacy capacity, you only have so much time to do it. I have a lot going on.
Well,
a lot of other things I do in the community.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because I know you won't toot your horn, but I want to toot your horn for you. And that's because you put a lot of effort and a lot of time into ION Tampa Bay, but as I just found out, you put a lot of time and a lot of effort into so many other community involvement. And so those who may be following you that love you or hate you because of ION Tampa Bay, they certainly should love you for all the effort that you put into our firefighting in our community. And, as you were talking about the emergency situations, whether it's a hurricane or other situations, that you volunteer your time to do that.
Right.
So
and I've
think
been
people need to know
live
that.
when the hurricane coming through outside the UC, updating right from the emergency operations center, trying to keep people informed as to what's going on. I mean, the local media does a great job with that, right? With weather, but some people don't follow that, and I'm just another venue. And if I could bring that information out or get answers from you through my connections through the county, I'm more than willing to do that.
And helping and learning to teach people CPR and other
and
life
preparing you and your community through the CERT program, how to prepare your neighborhood, and we teach these classes, and they're really, really great and educational classes to how to prepare. Number one, preparedness is key, and then the after effects of what you do or what you don't do.
I think that is so important. Osiris kind of asked this question, but I'm going to ask it probably a different way. I was going to ask you what story sticks out with you the most, but I think you answered that. What tips or messages do people send you the most? Is it mostly about accidents, or is it about
it's
things that you've already posted?
Wiser crime scene tape outside somewhere. Why is there a helicopter flying? Why is there dogs? Why is the intersection closed? It's everything. There's nothing really in particular. It's just nonstop. Everything. So
how you probably never counted it, but about how many messages do you get in a day? I mean, is it your cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Your cell phone must be on fire.
Well, yeah. Between all of my notifications and all my computers running and recording and sending me stuff, probably 1,000.
Wow.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
So I may miss something as well, but I try.
Well, I stole you for an hour, so you're probably telling how many.
So if
messages.
I didn't report on a crash, it's his fault.
It's my fault. I apologize for that. Well, we are about to wrap up, but how can our listeners get in touch with you and get all that valuable information that you give to our community?
Well, we're on IONTB.com. We're on Facebook at IONTB, YouTube. We do a little bit IONTB, and also on Instagram and Can't quite figure TikTok out yet.
I can't either. Stephen, thank you very much. It's great to put a face behind the person. Thank you for all the good work you do for our community, for educating us, but also giving us the information you need.
Awesome. Thank you.
Listeners, thank you for listening to FLA Law on the Radio. We will be back next week, but in the meantime, drive safely and watch out for those who don't. Take care.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Details and a timeline of the fatal